Welcome to my views and news. Some new stories from Ethiopia. Firstly, Amhara region seems to be taking a new position about disputed territories like Volkayat, Raya, Salamti. How to resolve the issue between Tigray and Amhara? What is Ethiopian federal government's position? What is Tigray government position? What is the change in Amhara regional government's position? Hailu Abira is Alamata mayor. A few hours ago, he spoke about the identity question of Raya people. And he took a new position, which I think is the position of the Amhara region because he is backed by the Amhara region. Secondly, viewers, Fano supporters, some Fano backed news sources, and Amhara Popular Front of Skandar Naga in the last 24 hours have shared some posts, messages, as if Fano has started taking control of cities. Can we say there is a change of strategy and Fano factions have decided to move towards cities from forests, from mountains? Thirdly, viewers, aid diversion in Ethiopia. We know that USAID World Food Program have suspended all food aid deliveries to Ethiopia. The food provision could resume next month. But before that, in some private conversations, World Food Program and USAID have made alarming revelations about how much aid was stolen, was diverted in Ethiopia. Thirdly, viewers, Rapid Support Forces have given a 3-week ultimatum to South Sudan's government. And lastly, in two videos, I reported about tensions between Sudanese military and Sudan People Liberation Movement Al Hilu group based in Kordofan. Now, reportedly, large-scale displacements of people from Kadugli is underway. There could be resumption of fighting between SPLM and Sudanese military in the area. Firstly, viewers, when Pretoria deal was signed in November, it did not answer the questions about the future status of disputed territories between Tigray and Amhara, between Tigray and Eritrea, Ethiopian Eritrea. It said that the political issues, etc., of within Ethiopia would be resolved through dialogue. And then we saw that Ethiopian government's negotiators, government's negotiators like Ridwan Hussein and others, they took one position. They said that bilateral disputes will be resolved in accordance with Ethiopian constitution. And when we say that the issues about territories will be resolved through a constitution, TPLF believes it means that constitution, it means that the areas will return to Tigray. That Tigray would retake territories because that is what constitutional position is. But what is other side's position? Hailu Abira Alamata mayor a few hours ago spoke about how to answer the identity question of Raya people. We know that some US diplomats visited Alamata 2 days ago. Getachew last night released a very angry message. He was not happy with US diplomats' visit to Alamata. He said it was unacceptable that US was legalizing illegal occupation of Tigray territories by extremist groups, almost quote unquote. So, Haile Obira, after US delegation left Alamata, took a new position. He says, a few hours ago he said that question of identity of Raya Amhara cannot be decided by constitution alone. He raised some technical points, like when constitution was made, when this area Raya became part of Tigray, and some other technical issues to population, etc. I won't go into details because both sides have their technical arguments to support their positions. But only change that we are seeing is that the Amhara, the Alamata mayor is now saying that only constitution cannot be used to decide the dispute between Tigray and Amhara over Raya zone. Other factors will have to be taken into account. It's a very important development. Ridwan and federal government officials, they say the matter will be resolved constitutionally. Tigray says the same. Amhara region is taking a new position. Let's see how things progress. It seems some key decisions are expected in coming days. So that is why we're seeing protests. We saw rallies in Volkayt, in Dansha, in Sagade. There were rallies. In Salamati too, there were rallies by the locals there. And people from Gondar were there too. Damak Zadu called for a solution to the dispute, saying that the area was part of Amhara. Now, Alamata mayor is speaking. Things are heating up. It means that there could be imminent decisions about future status of Raya and Volkayt. Let's see how federal government respond to this new position taken by Amhara region. Haile Obira's position is basically Amhara region government's position. In Volkayt, Damak Zadu is opposing the return of IDPs. He says IDPs could destabilize. There are criminal elements within the community. In Raya, people have submitted a petition to House of Federation with more than 150,000 signatures calling for a referendum to be held. So, in the two zones, Amhara region is taking different positions about how to resolve the dispute between Tigray and Amhara regions about the future status of these two zones. Secondly, viewers, is Fano adopting a new strategy? By Fano, I mean all Fano factions. Have they adopted a new strategy that now they want to take control of big cities or small cities? Because yesterday, Fano fighters were seen in control of Vagaltana in the Lanta, south of Wollo. And after that, we saw a statement from Amhara, a popular front of Skandar Naga, saying that this struggle should be taken to a new level from forests, from mountains. A Fano faction should now focus towards cities, towns. And can Fano factors take control of towns and remain in control of towns? Well, the nature of Fano anti-government movement is of guerrilla war. Guerrilla war cannot be fought in cities and towns. Yes, for a short period of time, Fano fighters can enter a city, they can be there. Ultimately, they'll have to withdraw from these cities. I wouldn't be surprised if I come to know that Fano fighters have left Vagaltana. They'll have to leave Vagaltana, I think. Like we're saying in Oromia, that Ola fighters' main bases are not in cities and towns. Yes, they attack cities, towns. In some areas, they have appointed local government officials too. But it's not that they are fully based in those town cities. Their main bases are in forests, mountains, etc. They keep on entering cities, they keep on hitting government officials, they keep on capturing weapons, they keep on attacking banks too. In the Amhara region, Fano fighters could adopt a similar strategy. They entered Vegaltana yesterday. Why? Because there was a protest. Thousands protested in Vegaltana. Fano fighters exploited the situation. They entered. Ethiopian army withdrew. We cannot say that Fano fighters were trying to take control of the town and that Ethiopian military was defeated. Ethiopian military is not engaging itself with Fano fighters in cities. It does not want locals to support Fano fighters. So that is why it could be idea of a few Fano supporters or Fano fighters. I don't think this idea is workable. I don't think this idea will be adopted and implemented by Fano factions. Yes, you'll see them enter cities, they'll be there with people, they'll leave. Basically, their struggle, their camps, their headquarters wouldn't be based in cities and towns. They would be based where they are. They are based in forests, mountains. Yes, they could carry out attacks on Ethiopian military, on government forces. Gradually, you'll see them attack government departments too. Like we saw several attacks by Fano fighters in Wollo. They attacked some police officers, government buildings, police stations. Same could happen in other parts of the Amhara region too. But the idea that they can take control of full cities, it's not workable at this point of time. Maybe at a later stage, if they become more powerful, we could see them move towards big cities. So I personally think Fano fighters will withdraw from Vegaltana. They will withdraw from other towns and cities as well. Yes, they might be there for a short period of time. They might be in touch with people there. But they wouldn't base their strength in these towns and cities. Thirdly, viewers, aid supply to Ethiopia is still suspended. Food aid supply suspended by USAID and World Food Program. In May, USAID and World Food Program suspended delivery of food aid to Tigray, then this month to entire Ethiopia. And the two organizations said that aid was being stolen, it was being diverted, it was being smuggled into neighboring countries too. Government officials, military officials, federal, regional government officials, all were involved in this network of aid theft. We saw a campaign from the Tigray interim government, Ethiopian federal government, that aid should be restored, aid supply, that people could die in large numbers. And then we saw a statement from World Food Program yesterday saying that the aid supply could resume in July. But in some private conversations, USAID and World Food Program officials spoke about the enormity of the situation, the seriousness of the situation, how much aid was diverted, it was stolen. Because people say that some aid diversion in conflict areas is not something to worry about. It happens. In all conflict areas, aid is stolen. So if it happened in Ethiopia, it is not something extraordinary. In Sudan, aid convoys are being attacked. Both rapid support forces, Sudanese military, they are involved in attacks on aid convoys. So it's not something new would happen in Ethiopia. But USAID and World Food Program think otherwise. Some USAID and World Food Program officials in their private conversations shared details of how much food aid was stolen and diverted in Ethiopia. And they said the aid diversion in Ethiopia could be the largest in the world. Such aid diversion did not happen at such a level in any country of the world. So that is why USAID World Food Program suspended delivery of food aid. It was a big decision. There are networks in Ethiopia. Some government officials, military officials are part of this gang which has been stealing aid. That is why this gang should be disclosed. Their identity should be disclosed, gang members. They should be held accountable. That is the way forward. That is why USAID World Food Program, they want guarantees, assurances before resumption of food aid delivery to Ethiopia. Let's see, will Ethiopian government, Tigray government be able to give assurances to the aid organization? That remains to be seen. Tigray has conducted an inquiry. It has identified some people involved. Federal government is silent. It hasn't said a word about how much aid was stolen, how many government officials, military officials were involved. Not a word. What is the status of investigation being conducted by Ethiopian federal government? No one knows. Lastly, we are Sudan. Two important news stories. South Sudan has been given an ultimatum by Rapid Support Forces. South Sudan is a landlocked country. It uses Port Sudan of Sudan to export oil. Around 150,000 barrels, more than 150,000 barrels of oil is produced daily in South Sudan. This oil is pumped through pipelines through Sudan towards Port Sudan, where then it is exported. Oil infrastructure is in Kordofan and then onwards to Port Sudan. Some sections of this oil infrastructure are under the control of Rapid Support Force members. And on monthly basis, South Sudan's government pays around 18 million US dollars to Sudan's government as transit fees, because Sudanese territories are being used by South Sudan's government for export of South Sudan's oil. Now, Rapid Support Forces have given a 3-week ultimatum to South Sudan's government, saying that South Sudan's government must not pay these 18 million US dollars monthly to Sudan's government, and that RSF should be given the share too. Otherwise, RSF fighters would start attacking oil infrastructure built in Sudan. It's a very important development. South Sudan's economy is already in trouble. South Sudan's oil production is declining. Sudanese government will be affected too, that it won't be able to receive 18 million US dollars monthly. Rapid Support Forces is a new player. RSF is now a new major player in Sudan. Not an insignificant player, it's a major player. Regionally, internationally, financially, militarily, diplomatically, in all aspects, Rapid Support Force is a major player in Sudan. Let's see how South Sudan resolve this conflict. Lastly, viewers, the tensions rising between SPLM, Sudan People Liberation Movement, Al Hilu group, and Sudanese military. SPLM Al Hilu group is based in South Kordofan. A few days ago, SPLM Al Hilu group fighters took control of some towns, small villages close to Kadugli, South Kordofan. Sudanese military withdrew from these places because of RSF attack on Sudanese military in some other areas. And then SPLM took control of some villages. Sudan military returned. There was fighting between SPLM and Sudan military, but SPLM is still in control of these villages close to Kadugli. And now tensions rising in and around Kadugli. Kadugli is under Sudanese military control, and SPLM members are trying to surround the city. People are fleeing the city. Thousands have fled Kadugli city. They fear there could be start of fighting between SPLM Hilu and Sudanese military for the control of Kadugli. So a new conflict gradually expanding in Kordofan. RSF Sudan military fighting in Kordofan, like in Al Ubaid, in the surroundings of Al Ubaid, and in South Kordofan, Sudanese military and SPLM Al Hilu group are fighting reportedly. Thank you for watching.